Hi everybody, my name is Rhonda Bearclough. I'm the chair of the Scholarship Board process for 2015. Today we're going to show you a video that outlines how a board should be conducted and is hopefully helpful for both the cadets and board members. Coming to scholarship boards is only part of the process for a cadet. When a cadet is applying for a scholarship, they not only have to do the application form. For gliding and plower, they have to write the exam. Their school marks are counted, dress and deportment, they have to write a narrative, and their cadet experience all adds up to their overall mark. In this video, you will see an actual interview of a cadet and board members asking the questions. You will note that the cadet, when they enter the room, comes to attention at the door, salutes, announces himself, and is wearing no medals on his uniform and is wearing his dress C2 uniform.
Come in.
Warrant Officer First Class Bearclough from 810 Grant McConaughey Squadron, applying for the International Air Cadet Exchange Scholarship.
Please come in.
While entering the room, he walks sharply to the chair, removes his wedge, places it in his lap, sits straight with his feet on the floor, doesn't slouch and fidget, and relaxes and smiles. During the interview, the chairperson will introduce the board to the cadet. They will give a short preamble and then begin the questions. In this case, these questions are sample questions only, and a cadet in an actual board may or may not be asked these questions. Most boards will consist of one person in a uniform, often a staff from a cadet squadron, somebody from the Air Cadet League who will normally be the chair of the board, and that person could be somebody from the Alberta Provincial Committee, a sponsoring committee, or a parent who is involved with the cadet unit. The third person could be any of the others, but also a member of the Legion, Lions Club, Air Force Association, or other organizations that help out the cadet movement.
So how are you today?
I'm good, ma'am.
Good. How was your drive-in?
It was pretty good, ma'am.
Yeah, no car accidents, roads were fine.
It was fine, ma'am.
Okay, because February can be awfully tricky when we're driving here.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Just going to give you a little bit of systems as to how we're going to be doing this today. We have some questions that we want to ask you just to get to know you a little bit better. If you have a problem with the question, just let us know and we will ask the question at the end. If you want us to repeat the question, please ask us. We will be writing notes as we're going through, so if our heads are down, we're not ignoring you. We're actually paying attention. And do you have any questions so far?
No, I do not, ma'am.
Okay, I'm going to just introduce us to you, so we're not complete strangers. My name is Mrs. Morgan, and I'm the Assistant Wing Director for the Northeast Wing.
And my name is Mr. Kerrigan. I'm with the sponsoring committee that is sponsored by the Lions Club.
And I'm Captain Daniel Mappington from 123 Anywhere Squadron.
Thank you, sir.
So do you have any questions before we begin?
No, I do not, ma'am.
All right. I'll start with the first question then.
Okay, ma'am.
When was the Air Cadets formed and why?
The Air Cadets was formed on April 9th, 1941. Its original purpose was to develop a pool of pre-trained airmen to assist in the war effort. Today, the Air Cadets has three objectives. The first is to develop in youth the attributes of good citizenship and leadership. The second is to promote physical fitness. And the final one is to stimulate interest in the aviation and aerospace industries and the Royal Canadian Air Force, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Wart, I have the second question for you. It is define leadership and how are you a leader in your community?
Thank you, sir. To me, leadership stems from the Canadian Forces definition of leadership, which is the art of influencing others to accomplish a task in a manner desired by the leader. The reason I say it stems from this is because I believe that's the basis of leadership. Leadership also requires the leader has the respect and that their followers believe in them and what they want to accomplish. I am a leader, in my opinion, in my squadron because I've been entrusted with the supervision and leadership of my entire squadron. I am responsible for ensuring my cadets are kept up to their drill, dress, and deportment. They are completing their training appropriately, and that the standards are kept through all manners of the squadron. Outside of cadets, with my school, I have volunteered many times to help out with the junior high survival camps and to work with teams within the school. In my community, I have been involved with the Millwoods Karate program for nearly 10 years now, and I have done everything from training as an adult to teaching and supervising the younger cadets, younger students in their training, sir.
Okay, thank you, Warren.
Okay, Warren, the next question is for me. Can you tell us what activities you participate in as a part of your regular training, optional training, or other parts of the cadet program?
Within the cadet program, sir, I participate in as much of the cadet program as I possibly can. In my regular training, I participate through the leadership and instruction of my younger cadets. But the biggest part of what I participate in with the cadet program is the optional training. I was the drum major of the band for 2 years, and I attended honor band. I assist with instruction of the drill and marksmanship teams. I instruct the Survive Air teams and survival on our squadron survival exercises. And one of the biggest parts of my training with the cadet program is that upon receiving my gliding scholarship in 2012, since then I have been a member of the Edmonton and Josephburg Gliding Center as a staff cadet, and I'm a familiarization pilot for the younger cadets, sir.
Thank you.
Great. Good answer. All right. So can you please describe the roles and responsibilities of the Air Cadet League and the Department of National Defence?
Yes, ma'am. The Air Cadet League of Canada has many responsibilities. A few of these responsibilities include the owning of the equipment for the Air Cadet Gliding Program, the fundraising for optional training for the squadrons, the acquisition of housing for the squadrons, as well as the effective speaking program and the selection for scholarship courses, ma'am. The Department of National Defence as well has many responsibilities. Some of these responsibilities include the mandatory training and uniforms for the cadets, the supplying and training of staff members for the squadrons, the training, staff, and facilities for summer camp, as well as the maintaining of the equipment for the Air Cadet Gliding Program.
All right. Great. Thank you. All right. So that's it for our questions that we have for you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Do you have anything that you would like to ask us or to add?
I just had a question for Captain Macklington. I was wondering, sir, when did you become involved with the cadet program?
I joined Air Cadets on September 6, 1988.
Thank you,
And
sir.
I've been part of the program since then.
Very awesome, sir.
That is very awesome. Well, thank you, Chief. And it was wonderful meeting you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Here are some helpful hints for the cadets who will be going through scholarships. Answer the questions in complete sentences and give plenty of information. Don't use slang or initials. Avoid playing with your uniform. Speak to all members of the board, maintaining eye contact. Project your image in maturity and composure. If you're not sure, make sure you tell them you don't know the answer to a question. Don't make it up. End all sentences with sir or ma'am. If you're unclear what the question is asking, ask them to ask it again. You can always come back to a question at the end if you forgot to give a full answer or you remember something during the rest of the questions. And at the end of the interview, you will have an opportunity to ask the board any questions you may have. You don't have to ask any questions, but if you have one, go ahead, ask the board. When the interview is over, the cadet should thank the board members and may or may not choose to shake hands with the board members. But when you're leaving, stand at attention, replace your headdress, thank the board members, go to the door, salute, and leave sharply.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
It was nice meeting you. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. Good luck.
Sir.
Good luck on your future endeavors.
Thank you, sir.
For the board members, there's a series of questions that you must ask the cadets. These questions, for consistency's sake, must be asked the way they are written down. The board chair should determine how the questions will be asked and in what order, prior to the cadet coming to the board. Please write notes, make sure that you have what you need is important from the cadet, and a reminder that for 2015, the uniform will not be marked during the interview process. The expectations of board members are that they are acting as representatives of the Alberta Provincial Committee and are there to help us determine the best cadets for these top scholarships. All members of boards will wear business attire or dress uniforms. They shall conduct themselves in a professional manner, and they must maintain appropriate professional distance from the cadets. We have a conflict policy, and if you know a cadet or have familiarity with a cadet, you should not be on their board. In conclusion, we'd like to thank you for watching this example of a scholarship interview. Once again, I remind you the questions that were asked here may or may not be asked in an actual scholarship interview. There are written manuals for both cadets and board members that are on the Alberta Provincial Committee website. We hope this video is helpful for both cadets and board members as you move forward in your scholarships.